The gates of Oblivion are opening. Hello RATBAGGERS, it's Jade with more Oblivion news you need to hear today, including a new release date. We're actually narrowing it down now from not just the week of the 21st, but actually maybe on the 21st itself. And by now, I'm not having this debate. It is real, it's coming. They are not AI generated pictures. I can't believe some of you bozos, still so negative Nellies about it all, really think some of this is AI generated. It's been confirmed by like everyone under the sun. A bunch of gaming journalists have come out and said it's been an open secret amongst them for ages, but no one wanted to have the wrath of Bethesda on them for potentially leaking it. According to my sources, they've literally been waiting for something to get out there that doesn't directly involve one of their outlets. Otherwise, they might face the same fate that happened to Eurogamer when they got banned from covering Bethesda games with any kind of review code after leaking Fallout 4 info. Anywho, we've been down this road before. Originally, Detective Seeds did state that the game would maybe release on the 3rd or the 10th. Obviously, both of them dates never came to pass, but he quickly clarified and said it'd been his mistake. In actual fact, the game would release on the week of the 21st. And in his words, it wouldn't actually happen though until the end of the current ESO anniversary event. Now that finishes on the 21st. So it's kind of right speculation to assume that maybe they would go ahead and reveal the trailer at the end of their celebration. But it's also been pointed out that why would they want to focus on another game when they're trying to hype people up for buying crowns and getting part of whatever they've got going on for their upcoming year, which is what this really anniversary event's all about. But nevertheless, I don't think it's necessarily a terrible time. It would still bring eyes to both games if one gets announced at the other. And that's the date, the 21st. But that's not just hearsay or me just speculating, that's down to Xbox support seemingly going ahead and confirming this. A complete random guy, Raven, so Raven, shout out to him, went ahead and was asking some stuff to do with obviously the game. He asked them, I was wondering if the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster will be available to play on cloud gaming. Thank you for your reply, Raven. Yes, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered will be available for cloud gaming. It's set to be released on Xbox Series XS, Xbox One. Additionally, it will be accessible through Xbox Game Pass, which supports cloud gaming, allowing you to play it anywhere with compatible device and internet connection. For more details, please check this link. We hope you're able to answer your question. Now, I know some people are going to be immediately jumping and going, what, Xbox One? Nah fam, this ain't releasing on that. Microsoft haven't been releasing any of their in-house games on older gen. That would obviously defeat the whole purpose of buying a new one. But remember the wording, cloud gaming. You can play cloud gaming on your Xbox One. This got enabled a little while ago. So it means that as long as you've got a good internet connection, you can play Xbox Series S and X games directly on your old chunky Xbox One. Raven then carried on asking questions. When will this game be available to play on cloud gaming? Earlier I was told that the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered would be available for cloud gaming. And they've replied the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is set to release on April the 21st. It's confirmed to be a day one launch title on Xbox Game Pass, which strongly suggests that it will be available for cloud gaming through Xbox Cloud Gaming. People were shouting that they need to see some sort of screen recording. Raven's duly applied it. Other people have also gone out and reached the Xbox support. Synth Potato, a pretty much hardcore Bethesda fan by the looks of things, asking same kind of deal. Reported by Insider Gaming, is the Oblivion Remaster releasing next week on the Game Pass version, including all the DLC as the original game? And they've said yes, the remaster version of it will have all of that, and it is starting on April the 21st. It'll have all the original DLCs from the original game. Now, I thought I made this clear in my video yesterday, showing you there's a deluxe edition. I can't believe anyone really thought they wouldn't sell the old DLC like Shivering Isles and Knights of Nine stuff. That, of course, will be included with the base remaster. But it does look like they are adding new armors, new horse armor, yes, and maybe some other stuff as part of the deluxe edition. The only thing that could count against this is that usually Xbox support doesn't necessarily have this kind of information. Otherwise, we'd all be asking like where the hell or when is Fable coming out. You get the idea. But if it's been entered into their database on the Xbox store but hasn't gone live for everyone, it's not that much of a stretch to think that actually they can see that stuff. It's just hidden at the moment. But the last thing I will say though, just to add a bit more balance, Microsoft have been using AI a hell of a lot in the last few years. Obviously got it for their support tickets anyway by the vast majority until you actually get to talk to someone. It could be very well much that they are scraping the internet, and that's the advice that they've got already from the internet. as the April 21st is the week that everyone's been mentioning, from Jeff Grubbs, Detective Seeds, and Nate Haight, stating that it was all going to be later in the month. All three of them are known leakers or industry peoples, but given it's been so very specific, also talking about the Game Pass version, answering questions about DLC and more, I think this really does line up. Now, I put April the 22nd because that's a Tuesday. As far as I know, going back, that's normally when a lot of games will potentially release on Xbox or have big major updates or drops. So the 21st will be the Monday. As we know now, there's a bunch of games that just drop on Game Pass pretty much any day of the month now. That kind of thinking is kind of old school. And ultimately, it does coincide, like I said, with the end of the ESO event. They really could be thinking, well, it's still all just Elder Scrolls related. They've missed any other kind of dates that they would want to go ahead and announce this, like Oblivion's 19th birthday. Although I still find it quite funny that Todd Howard's birthday's on like the 25th, and there's speculation that could happen then. And if this all turns out to be true, we'll all be playing or jumping back into Oblivion literally on Monday next week, or Tuesday if you're in Australia or Asia. And not that really matters now since the info's out there, but apparently this remake was called Altar. Around 2 years ago it was leaked that the actual Oblivion remake or remaster was being made, and that it would be layering on top with the graphics of Unreal Engine 5, but still have the gameplay, physics, etc. of the original Oblivion engine, which does worry me somewhat. I'll get into that towards the end of the video, but yeah, I've been playing the old version. Pretty interestingly though, Black Shamrock are the studio that have also helped with the art supposedly. And guess what? Black Shamrock are a Virtuous studio. The same team that are working on this or have been reported as the ones behind it for Bethesda. These guys have helped out Xbox on a number of games in the past, most notably grounded in the most recent, plus the Outer Worlds. Although they wasn't responsible for the PlayStation or Switch ports, that was done by Double 11. Instead, these guys actually just made a lot of the art. I've shown this off a bunch of times on my second channel, going over pretty much the ArtStation stuff, concept art and lost ideas. So yeah, not hugely important, but I still think it's worth pointing out. So obviously Virtuous have got studios all over the world, and they've obviously maybe pulled all of their resources and been working on this for a number of years, just like the original leak documentation from 2021 suggested. And the link to the latest leaks is apparently before it got taken down, the word Altar was the codename in a lot of the image URLs that have now been taken away. So you can't actually go and find all of the leaked pictures directly on the Virtuous website. It simply says 404. So I guess finishing off with obviously the Unreal Engine being used, but maybe the core engine for the gameplay is still the old one. That does worry me, it does. Like, the screenshots look great, I think the game looks amazing. Some people have pointed out it's not as colourful or as vibrant. Bearing in mind a lot of these shots are like really low res. And for sure, I don't want a muddy brown game, but it definitely looks like 20 times, 50 times better than the original. I'm sorry people. Some of you guys have got your nostalgia glasses on. Yes, the hills and the grass look green, absolutely. But in terms of detail, in terms of what you're actually looking at as foliage, it's just kind of old looking. It is. I can't really see how anyone can really prefer this to what is potentially being shown in the actual remaster. Like, sure, maybe it could have done with a little bit more colour or saturation. This is an Xbox Series X, by the way, playing the Xbox 360 edition. But the idea that the remaster is going to look a worse game, no way. Maybe not as charming, not as nostalgia filled, absolutely, agree with that. But yeah, I'm a bit more concerned about the mechanics. After playing quite a bit for the first time in like 18, 19 years, I'm streaming this every night, so make sure you're subscribed, got notification bell dinged, and I'm pretty much diving back into the old game, so I'm ready for the new one. The idea that they're not adjusting much in terms of the core mechanics to play, like I can't even find a run button for Christ's sake. And though it's not the left stick, as that is pretty much crouch, the menus are kind of horrible to navigate. But yeah, according to the info, it's not necessarily going to be the remake that we maybe first thought. It is more just a remaster with a few adjustments to some of the mechanics. We know that it is going to have a better HUD. It will have slight revamps to archery, which is god awful in the original. It's going to have a better parry system now, instead of you just basically getting stun locked a lot. Maybe ripping off a little bit of Dark Souls, which effectively lots of games use, which is simply just riposte or block at the same time, at the right time I should say, and then you'll be able to stun enemies for a bit longer and hit them. Stealth mechanics might be improved slightly with sneak icons and stuff. But honestly, it's almost comical watching my gameplay now after playing it last night and just seeing how bad some of this is. Through the lens of it being a 20-year-old game, absolutely at the time it was amazing. But for me, the 5-year gap in between Oblivion and Skyrim was just generations ahead, and why I love Skyrim so much, but maybe never gelled enough with Oblivion. But I guess we'll find out on Monday whether or not I've been too harsh, and whether or not the new remaster will really have the improvements that have been talked about. So there we go, folks. Let me know what you think about the game. Let me know if you're going to be buying it. Do you reckon you'll be ponying up for the deluxe edition? And as I said, I'll be streaming it every night until the actual new one launches, and then doing a ton of new content on it. So until next time, and any other more confirmed news, I'll see you ratbags later.